long at additional more time. I am challenging the staff to bring us materials so that we can make these decisions. We only have one meeting a month now, so everything needs to be prepared. You need to do your homework on it, and lady, and staff needs to present us with what we need. A new feature that I'm going to ask for in the coming months, with the cooperation of the city manager and the mayor, will be a time with different departments that basically come under the purview of MSFI, those being fire department, police, parks and rec, public works, library, transfer station, water and sewer services. You know, basically, this is the committee that deals with the actual services that the public requires of the city. Finance is great, they deal with the money. PLD is great, they deal with the rules and procedures. We deal with the real nuts and bolts that the community looks for. I'm looking at this committee as a vital communication link from the staff to the public, from the public to the staff. There's a lot of projects coming up in the coming years, and we're going to make it happen. So, thank you. So all that going on, we have an agenda this evening. First item on the agenda is communication from Kevin Leary regarding access to property 218-009- a lot of zeros through the Old Gilsum Road. Mr. Leary, would you come forward and address your communication,
Sure.
please?
Kevin Leary from...
You could sit if you like.
Okay, sure.
And turn the microphone on, too.
These microphones on here.
Yeah.
Kevin Leary, at 27 Meeting House Road here in Keene.
It was on.
Oh, sorry. Kevin Leary, 27 Meeting House Road, Keene. I'm here on behalf of myself to ask for, it's actually going to be pretty much the same equipment that we used last year from our entry and exit way. It's a small, compact, residential grade excavator and tractor that we're using to, we're not removing anything from the property. We're in essentially doing like a TSI type of a project. We're trying to improve the property, trying to, a lot of the habitats up there have become more of a monoculture than anything, and we're just trying to diversify it. There's a lot of, as you'll see in the forestry, the beach has overcome like everything. They did some logging on it about 10 years ago, and the beach has gone crazy up there. There's beach bark disease. There's some invasive species that we want to get rid of, and just the diversity of the property just isn't quite there. It's a little bit mature, but we also don't want to have it logged either. So the idea is to improve the property without having to remove anything and adding additional value in terms of plants, shrubbery, grasses, some native species that we're going to add to the property to just, again, create an extremely diverse ecosystem up there, if you will.
Okay. So city staff, is that Public Works or Parks or?
I can certainly start off, and certainly Andy can do it. Corp Lundquist, Assistant City Manager, Public Works Director, getting used to the new title. Yes, as Mr. Leary indicated, he had come before this committee last year, and as part of your package, we did provide information from last year's committee meeting. On page 6 of the is a map of the area. Hopefully you have it in color. That way it gives you a little idea. The parcel that we're talking about, the Fontaine parcel, is highlighted in yellow. Just a little quick background for our new members on the committee. The Old Gilsum Road is a Class 6 road. It was closed to Class 6 status in approximately 1980. What does that mean? It means it is a public way, but that is not city maintained. And part of the reasons why Old Gilsum Road was closed to a Class 6, there are today approximately 11, 12 privately owned properties along with some city-owned property up there along the road. And the Gilsum Road is the only access to those properties. So it provides access, again, up to it. It's also utilized by the public, being a Class 6 road, it's still a public highway. It is used by the public to jog, bicycle, walk, etc. There is, as indicated, and the Parks Rec Director could talk if talk about it, it does back up onto some properties associated with the Goose Pond area and some other properties the city has acquired over a year for conservation. So it does provide the access that particular way. A number of years later, the city council added additional restrictions, of which one of the major restriction was the use of motorized vehicles. Basically, you prohibit the use of motorized vehicle without your authorization, but you also did not prohibit property owners from accessing their property. So basically, in effect, you did not prohibit them from using the road with motorized vehicles, but they have to come and let you know when they would like to do that so you can grant them permission. As Mr. Leary was talking about, he came last year to the committee, starting in, I guess, early last February, worked through the committee until May of last year to be able to utilize motorized vehicle over it. As he indicated, he has gotten a formal agreement with the property owner, so he in effect is a property owner agent. So that places him into the status of, again, being a property owner for gaining access to the site. We have not had any, as far as I'm aware, and certainly Andy can correct if he's had it, we have not aware of any complaints from Mr. Leary's access over the two times or last.
Case, Mr. Leary, Mr. Leary has a lease, and we decided that a lease was sufficient, although at the time, we wanted to see the lease, we wanted to make sure it was good and legal. But because this is permission we give to owners, we also decided that leaseholders were part of that.
Okay, just a comment that this is a somewhat conditional granting, so if there are complaints and problems, don't let there be problems.
Understood, understood.
Okay, and anyone from the public like to speak? Committee, anything further?
So, Mr. Chairman, from a process, you probably should accept Mr.
You are
Leary's correspondence as informational, and then under item 2, you
Hear what he's
can
saying.
act upon the recommendation. I'm sure that will make Patty very happy.
Bobby's going to make the motions?
Okay, apparently I make the motions now.
No.
I move to accept the communication from Kevin Leary
As,
as informational.
Seconded.
okay, this motion to accept the communication is informational. Anything from the public or committee? All in favor? Okay. And I should have mentioned, I neglected to, one of the little procedural things that I thought was important back in my FOP days is to rotate the motions. Just bringing the whole committee into the process. Don't be put out. And please.
Okay. Move to recommend per section 94-238 of the City Code of Ordinances that Kevin Leary of 27 Meeting House Road, Keene, New Hampshire, be permitted to use motorized vehicles on the Class 6 portion of the Old Gilsum Road for the purpose of accessing and transporting in and out equipment up to 4 times per year until 2023 to the Fontaine Albert R. Revocable Trust Property 218-09-00-000-000. This motorized access to be coordinated with city staff, with Mr. Leary abiding by all conditions set by staff.
And a second, please.
Second.
Okay, motion from Counselor Williams, second by Counselor Filio. Anything from the public, committee, council? Okay, all in favor?
Road across city-owned property in Roxbury, New Hampshire.
Second.
Motion was made by Counselor Workman, seconded by Counselor Filio. Anything further from the committee or public? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. Sound effects. Next item on the agenda, there's an issue that goes back. It was on More Time Forever. Maintenance of the Wilson Pond Dam. Is that a Public Works? City Manager.
Good afternoon. We had been talking with the school about the Wilson Pond Dam for a year and a half or so. And this had been sitting on the more time for this committee. And so the chair asked that we follow up with the school for the status report related to the Wilson Pond Dam. And in your packet, you should see a letter from the school district indicating that they are working with Dubois and King to repair the dam, and they are close to finalizing their plans and moving forward. I did confirm with the superintendent that he is comfortable reporting this out of committee at this time.
Okay. I did hear you say repair. Okay. That is important to me. Thank you. Any questions from the committee or the public? Seeing none?
Okay. Move to recommend to report out the issue of the maintenance of the Wilson Pond Dam.
Seconded.
Motion's made by Council Filio, seconded by Councilor Workman. Questions, comments? All in favor? Thank you. And our final item, this is another issue that goes back a while. Monica Marshall had requested that Main Street be designated as a smoke-free zone, and City Manager has information.
So we have been in communication with Ms. Marshall, and she has been working with a group about bringing it back a different proposal, a modified proposal. And so at this time, we're recommending the item be reported out. She's aware of that and comfortable with that, and she will be submitting a new communication with a more defined project.
Okay. Anything from the committee or public? Council Roberts.
Move to recommend to report out the communications from Monica Marshall seeking to have the Main Street designated as a smoke-free zone.
Second.
Motion's made by Council Roberts, seconded by Council Filio. Anything from the committee? Seeing none, all in favor? Boom. Thank you. Thank you very much for your attendance this evening.
That was quick.
Yeah. And we have nothing going on more time. So thank you all for coming. I thank the staff for being here, and stay safe.
Well, now you've set a precedent. It's going to happen like this all the time.
Yeah. Well. Hey, better than 6:30, dude.